Hi, greetings, fellow Whovians. Whovian Queen here. Hope I have a good week so far. Well, look at the 11th Doctor era now continues on with Night Terrors. So, let's take a look at it. The 11th Doctor decides to make a house call after Psychic Paper receives a message from George, a frightened 8-year-old child, asking his help in getting rid of the monsters in his bedroom. On arrival at a council estate on present-day Earth, the Doctor, Amy, and Rory split up to try to locate the child. The Doctor, taking the guise of a social services worker, finds Rory a flat and meets George's father, Alex, while his mother, Claire, is working a night shift. Through Alex's photo album, the Doctor knows that George has been frightened all his life, hearing many of the sounds and people around the flat, and has helped to cope by various habits, including metaphorically placing spheres in his wardrobe. Meanwhile, Amy and Rory, while taking the lift down, suddenly find themselves in what appears to be an 18th century house, but shortly discover most of the furnishings are wooden props. Other residents of the estate appear in the house, but are caught by life-size pig dolls which transform the residents into more dolls. Amy is caught and becomes a pig doll herself, joining the others in chasing Rory. The Doctor, suspecting that the wardrobe contains the evil George fears, opens it to find its contents are simply clothes and toys, including a dollhouse. The Doctor calls from Knox's photo album that Claire did not appear pregnant in the weeks leading up to George's supposed birth, causing Alex to remember the fact that Claire was unable to have children. The Doctor says that George is a Tenza child, an empathetic alien who took on the form of Alex and Claire's desired child through a perception filter, and has the ability to literally lock away his fears in the wardrobe. The Doctor and Alex are pulled into the wardrobe, joining Rory in the dollhouse. As the pig dolls descend on the three, the Doctor calls out to George to face his fears. George is able to open the wardrobe and appears in the dollhouse, but the dolls turn to advance on him. The Doctor realizes that George is still frightened that Alex and Claire plan to send him away, having mistakenly interpreted a conversation they had earlier that night. Alex rushes through the pig dolls to embrace George as his son. They all find themselves back at the estate, restored to normal. Good. So let's take a look at some continuities right in this episode. The Doctor refers to Snow White and the Seven Keys to Doomsday, the Three Little Centaurans, and the Emperor Dalek's New Clothes as being among his childhood nursery stories, referencing the 1974 stage play Seven Keys to Doomsday and the Centaurans and the Emperor Dalek, two of the series' recurring monsters. He also repeats his predilection for tea and Jemmy Dodgers from another Gatiss-written episode, Victory of the Daleks. So let's take a look at the production of this episode. Episode writer Mark Gatiss told Radio Times they'd always been scared of dolls, and was surprised that Doctor Who had never used them before. He was especially interested in peg dolls, which he said were the stuff of proper nightmares. Gatiss had previously worked with guest actor Daniel Mays in the BBC serial Funland, and purposely inserted the line, "maybe later," into the script as it had been a bit of a catchphrase for the two on Funland. However, Mays did not notice the reference. The episode was originally given the title, What Are Little Boys Made Of? To achieve a greater variety of stories in the first half of Series 6, Night Terrors was moved into the second block of episodes, having been filmed as Episode 4 and showing up in promos for the first half of the season. This necessitated minor changes to the episode, including the removal of a recurring sequence featuring the appearance of Madame Kavarian. The original last scene was dropped, and a new one was written so it would make sense at that point in the series. This scene consisted of nursery rhyme. Lead writer Stephen Moffat wanted to foreshadow the Doctor's death and asked Gatiss to write a nursery rhyme, which he described as rather wonderful. Variations of the rhyme were heard in Closing Time and the series finale, The Wedding River Song. The episode was the first to be filmed in September 2010. It was mainly filmed on a council estate in Bath, Somerset, while the scenes in the dollhouse were filmed in Durham Park. The Bristol estate was chosen because of its crisp architecture. The country house at Durham Park was chosen because of its staircase and checked flooring. The antiques were stripped out and replaced with childlike furniture that was placed to look as though it had been played with. Several designs of the dolls were made, trying to achieve the desired balance of a normal doll and a scary, more crude-looking one. The actors portraying the dolls were choreographed to move with stiff legs but swing their arms. In a scene in which Alex and the Doctor are in the kitchen, they open and close the fridge as they are talking. This was not in the script, but improvised by Mace and Matt Smith on set. Mace was invited to guest star in the episode. It was drawn to the story because of the family element. He had a young son like George. The scene in which Purcell sinks into the carpet was filmed with actor Andrew Tiernan on a hydraulic platform that lowered him into green-colored liquid. Ugh. So overall, I think it's just a pretty scary episode of the show, but it does have happy resolution, so there's that. So overall, I give Night Terrors 3 sonic screwdrivers out of 5. Well, anyway, tune in next time as we take a look at The Girl Who Waited. Well, I hope you enjoyed the review, and if you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share it around, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified about when I upload videos. And want to help support this channel, then be sure to check out my Patreon page. Link is always in the description below. Anyway, until next time, this is Sylvie and Queen saying, "Oh my giddy aunt! When I say run, run!" I reverse the polarity of the neutron flow. Would you like a jelly baby? Fantastic! Allons-y! Geronimo! Bow ties are cool, fezzes are cool, and Stetsons are cool.